Welcome to Free Fire Radio. And now, Free Fire Radio is about to commence.
Okay, Mr. Carlton, let's start with you.
Thank you. This election is not about programs or things of that nature. This election is about justice for all. It's about treating people fairly. It's about integrity, and it's about judgment. I am running because Mr. Benito is lacking in these essential requirements for the position of district attorney. These are serious issues. I'm tired of coming to these forums and not dealing with the issues in this campaign. So I'm challenging Mr. Benito this morning to respond to the issues.
Mr. Benito, your 4 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Jerry Benito. I'm the district attorney, and I've been your district attorney for 7 years. I will be getting to the comments that Mr. Carlton made eventually. But right now, this is the introduction, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married. My wife is a teacher in Shasta County, and I have 2 boys that were born here up at Mercy Hospital. Also, I moved to the county in 1988, and I've been a prosecutor for nearly 20 years in Shasta County. And as a prosecutor in this county, I have prosecuted just about every case you can imagine in this county, and that includes the lowest level misdemeanor to death penalty cases. And some of those cases are the most notable cases that we've had in Shasta County.
Let's go to the first question then. Mr. Carlton, you know, one of the things that has been on the forefront, it seems like, of in Reading and in the North State is marijuana. What is your opinion on the number of the marijuana communes being established in Reading?
Having marijuana prescriptions is legal. Having co-ops is legal. That's where they obtain their marijuana, where they have themselves and others join in to produce the marijuana. There's no profit. Nobody makes any money. They're legal, and they're also well monitored by the police department, and the police department has indicated that they're having no trouble with these co-ops. So if marijuana is illegal for people under certain circumstances, they have to have a place to get it, and this is where they're getting it, and I have no problem with that.
The problem I have with the co-ops in general is that they are able to do things that a typical business might not be able to do. They don't have to fall through, or they don't have to jump through all the same hoops that you as a business owner opening, for instance, Tobacco and Brew have to jump through. They don't have to pay the taxes, and they don't have to account to the state government. It is only because of a meeting that I had and called together with all of our law enforcement that we developed the plan to have land use permits required, because that is the most effective and legal way to monitor.
Do you believe marijuana should be legalized?
Whether it should be legalized?
Right. We're having a referendum, it seems like, this fall. Do you believe marijuana should be legalized?
Well, first of all, as the district attorney, I'll force whatever law is put out there, but my personal opinion is no. Having said that, my father died a couple years ago from cancer, and during those last few days, I probably, if I could legally, have given him anything that he wanted to relieve the pain that he was in. So that to that extent, I understand why some people would feel that they need to use medical marijuana. But if the law allows it and the voters want, just as with 215, that's what the voters put in, then we'll enforce it. But for me, it needs to be black and white. Right now, the way the law is, it does a tremendous disservice to both those who think they need medical marijuana and feel it benefits them, and it does a great disservice to law enforcement because it is not black and white.
First of all, it's essentially legal now. The penalty for possession of under an ounce of marijuana is less than a speeding ticket. And So it's really not that big an issue today. Whether it's legalized or not, I wouldn't have any problem if they just said it's legal to have under an ounce of marijuana. I wouldn't have a great deal of that. I think it would take a lot of the profit out of it. With the Mexican cartels, wouldn't have the incentives that they do now to grow it and distribute it. But there would be problems with it if it is legal. Where do they get it? And things that aren't really covered by the referendum. So there would be a lot of work to be done, it seems to me, if they did legalize it.
Mr. Carlton here. If you were DA, we know we have illegal immigrants in Shasta County. What would you do about it?
Well, there's no authority in the states or the counties to arrest, prosecute illegal immigrants. The only thing that we can do in this county or any other county is to cooperate with the immigration department. And when arrests are made on other matters and they suspect that the individual is an illegal immigrant, they're required to notify the immigration department, and then they have the jurisdiction to take action or not. But there's nothing the district attorney, no power that the district attorney or county law enforcement has in that regard. They can't even arrest for it.
Actually, there are things the district attorney can do with illegal immigration. No, we cannot prosecute those. Those are federal offenses. But there are a couple of areas that we have already taken steps in. One of the first things I did when I became the district attorney is put out a policy that says if somebody's an illegal alien, illegal immigrant, they cannot be on probation in our county. Because when somebody's on probation, felony probation, that means they're required to report to a probation officer and a judge in our county. How can they do that if they're here illegally? So if they are an illegal alien and they are convicted of a felony, our policy is to send them to state prison. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes the judges put them on probation anyway, but our policy is to send them to prison. Now you might ask, why do we want to house them? Why not just ship them back? The reason is because you put them on a bus, and the minute they cross the border, they will probably beat you home because they'll be back in the country and back in our county. So what we do is we want them to be in state prison where the message gets back to Mexico, don't get caught in Shasta County committing those offenses.
I don't understand Mr. Benito's position that if somebody commits a crime because he's illegal, he should be sent to prison. That makes no sense to me. If he commits a crime where a prison sentence is appropriate, he should go to prison. If he commits a crime where prison is not appropriate, he shouldn't go to prison. The people that should be dealing with the illegal immigrant issue is the immigration department. They're the only people that the law allows to deal with that, not Mr. Benito. Neither Mr. Benito nor his top assistant will go into the courthouse. So there are two people in there that do nothing with regard to prosecuting cases. And if he has such a lack of resources, then he ought to be taking his shoes off and going to court.
Do you want me to take my shoes off, Carl?
We're okay now.
Okay, thank you. But my attorney, the one that Mr. Carlton refers to as lying to a witness, I told that attorney at 12 o'clock, go there and keep the bail high and get it higher to keep that man in. And my attorney failed to do so, simply said he forgot. This is at 1:30, an hour and a half later, said he forgot, and then lied to the victim outside of court. I won't tolerate that, and I will not have people working for my office who engage in that type of behavior, and he no longer works for my office, and those victims are happy now and support me. Thank you.